Make sure you follow me on social media to get updates and ask me questions. Enjoy the video. Let's start with our feed. I want to do some refactoring here before we continue with our CSS design. Instead of using a list item to loop through each product, I want to use a component instead. To be more specific, I want to use a product component. So what I will do is to go inside this components folder, and I will create a new folder and call this product. Inside this folder, I will create two new components. So the first one will be products.view and the other one product.view. So what I'm going to do is to get the script from the feed and move it to the products component. So pretty much copy this, go to the products component and paste it. And let me also get rid of this style here. Now I will do the same for the template. I will get this and paste it inside the products component. Now the feed component will be a container. Imagine that this feed component here is like a div component and it is our parent. So for now it will contain only the h1 and it will also call the products component. So the tag for this one, we do not have it yet, but suppose it will be like this, my-products. So this is how I imagine it. Let's also import products. So right here, import products from, and the path to this is product, which is our folder, the new folder, and then products.view. I will also define the component, so let me get rid of this. Components. So we gave this the name my-products, so pretty much here, again the same, my-products. And this will call, or will use, the products component. Now simply delete the h1 from here because we already have it here in the feed component. So just delete this, and the result should actually be the same, and it is, no difference. However, what is different now is that we can include code specifically for each component. For example, here you can include JavaScript, CSS, and HTML code that can improve your feed component. Same thing for products and product that we will see later. So to make this more clear, let's work with this product component. As I said, I want to loop through each product in using a component, which is our product component, instead of this li here, this list item. So let's work with the code that we would like to have and build it as we continue. So I will completely delete this and use the product component instead. So something like this, for example, my-product, and then we will loop through each product. So v4 product in products. No big difference, we are just using the component to loop through each product instead of the list item. So inside the product now, first I will get rid of this code and this one. Okay, so inside the product now, I will output the name and the price. So pretty much the same code, no big difference. So product.name and then product.price. Of course, this my product here doesn't exist yet, so let's import this. So right at the top, import product from product.view. Okay, so with these changes, will this work? Let's see. If I go back to this and inspect console, okay, so it looks like this doesn't work, simply because I totally forgot to define the component. So let me define this here. The name will be my product as we said, and this will use the product that we just imported. Okay, so back to this again. So it looks like we're trying to access a product property or method and then get the name and the price. However, this is not defined in our component inside the product component, right? So this is what this error says here. that the property or method product, which is this one, is not defined on the instance but referenced during render. So yeah, we are pretty much trying to access something that we do not have in this component. So to define this, we can use the props, the option that Vue provides us. So props is short for properties, and you can do it like this. And this is an array, and inside here you specify the property or method. So our property is product, as you can see here. Okay, so now that we have defined this, let's go back and see what is the next error. Now it says that it cannot read property name of undefined. So for this problem, I suspect that our product now, this product component is fine, but in the loop that we have in this products component, we are actually not passing the product. And this is true. So as you can see here, we only loop through each product. We do not pass the product to the product component. Because remember, the product component expects a product in order to show name and price. So let's pass the product. Below this, I will say product equals to product. So this product here is this product. So it is our object. Okay, so now I have this placeholder product, and I am passing the product that we have in the loop to the product component. However, be very careful. Make sure product here has the same name as product here. So if you have this my product like this, then this should also be my product. Okay, let me bring this back. And with this change, our application should work. However, it doesn't. And if I refresh, again, we get no errors. We only get the dashes, which come from this example right here. So it cannot read product name and price. It only outputs the dash 50 times because we have 50 products. Also, as I said, inside the console we do not see any error. And by getting no errors, then we think that this is working. However, there's a very big problem here. So let's open the Vue Dev Tools and see what we get in the product component. Pay attention to what I will do now, because this is very important when you have to debug Vue applications. So we have this my products here, and this is the products component, because remember, inside the feed component, we have declared this element as my products, and this is what we get here. So inside this my products, we have 50 products, okay? And each of this product has the product property that we declared. However, it looks like the property product has the value product, literally the string product. So let me show you something. If I go back to the products, and instead of product here, I say product 1, 2, 3, and I go back, you can see that the product changes to product 1, 2, 3. So it literally passes the string and not the object product. So this happens because if you do not include the colon at the front here, then Vue will read the product as a string and not an object. So let me bring this back to product and also have the colon at the front, so never forget the colon when you want to pass an object. Okay, so back to this now. Now it works. So you can clearly see that with that change, product now is an object here. You see, it says object. And of course it has all the properties such as name and price. So I wanted you to pay attention to this part because now you know how to debug Vue applications. Also, forgetting the colon at the front is something that you will do a lot, especially when you start with Vue.js. Okay, so now let's fix our design and close this video. I will use some basic Bootstrap CSS classes inside the product component. So let's do that. For now, let me just delete this, and I will specify a call md4 here. And inside here, we can have a class thumbnail. What else? We can also have an image, right? We can think about the image later. So I will also have the caption. I will also have an h3 tag for the product name. So this is where we output the product.name, and also a p tag for the price. So product.price. dot price. We can have an horizontal line there. Okay. And then another p tag to include the buttons, which can be anchor tags. So this one will be href. For now, it will be a hash, and we will think about it later. So btn default, and we can say wish list here. And then I will have another one for the buy button. So href, again, hashtag class btn success. And I will say buy there. Also, let me change this to a class row, and let's go back and see the result. Okay, this looks pretty good. So let me also now get an image, and the image upload is something that we will take care later in the course. So for now, I will just output an image that I will find on Google. Let me use this one. I want to just get the link of this image. So copy image address, go back to the code, and put it right here. Okay, back to this now. It's pretty good. Okay, so before I close this video, let me sum up. What we did this time is to create two new components. So the feed component now is like a container, is the parent of all the other components. So inside the feed component, we are calling the products component. The products component will make a call to the Laravel server here. It will get the products and store them inside this products array. Then what we do is to loop through each of these products using the product component. And inside the product component, we pretty much output name and price with some CSS classes. Now, the power of this is that each component has one specific job. So by having one job, you can apply specific JavaScript and CSS for each component. So this product component, it cares only about the styling of the product. So it will output the price, the name, and the picture, anything else with some style. So you have to pretty much just declare what this component will accept, which is the product, and then you just output the data. However, this products component is the logic of the application. So this component will make an HTTP call to the API. It can be Laravel, it can be Django, it can be Symfony, it can be anything else. You just have to know that this is the logic, we can say. So this one will get the products from a resource, and this is where we'll loop through each of these products. Then the last component is the feed component, and this component, well, this component is just a container. So everything is inside this feed component. So to make you understand the power of the components and the fact that each component has one job, let me show you something here. So I will add some style for this component, okay? For example, we can get access to this thumbnail class and change the background. So I will say here thumbnail, and I will set the background color to blue. So if I go back to this, you can see, of course, the design now is very bad. So let me bring this back. So I think that you get the idea, right? So each component has its own style, its own CSS, JavaScript, HTML. So everything is specific to this component. So the logic for each component is isolated.